Alright, I'm back. We got Varietal Beer Company. This is Tuque's English style brown ale. And I have no idea, or Tuque's or something like that. It looks like an eyeball with a beanie. I have no idea what's going on here. If there's some sort of like inside reference there, I have no idea. But Tuque's or Tuque's English style brown ale, brewed with European malts. This English brown is hopped with locally grown sonnet hops, coming in at 4.8 ABV from Varietal Beer Company. And they are just outside of the city that I live in, so I still consider them local. Just a short drive to get there, kind of in a small agricultural town. We got a mug right here that we're going to pour up in. This was a Varietal Goat Fest mug, which Goat Fest is where they, all the brewers that participate submit a Maibach style beer. And so they really put a spotlight on the Maibach lager. And I just think that's badass because you just don't really hear a lot about it. So cheers to Varietal. Let's go ahead and give this one a shot here. Definitely got a deep brown color. Can't see just a hair of light through it, but just barely. You can see there's almost like a quarter of a finger thin tan head. Definitely kind of a nutty character coming off the nose there. Fuck, that's good. Oh, that's nice. So the nuttiness kind of continues into the palate. It also has a bit of roastiness, kind of like a black coffee type vibe. There is a little bit of sweetness there, but it's mellow. It's really mellow. It's kind of a dry finish as well. Tastes very sessionable. I could pound a few of these down. Especially this time of year, a little bit colder. Has like a nice malt undertone. This is pretty fucking enjoyable. Alright, let's get into the shave for today. Today, we are using First Line Shave Illustrious Oud. And this one is based off of a high-end niche perfume with a similar kind of artwork on it from, what was it? Initio Parfums. Oud for Greatness is the name of the scent that this is inspired by. This is in the First Line Shave 3.0 base. We got a nice smooth even pour on this one, and you can see where I scooped it. It is firm, but not so firm you can't easily press into it. It is a banger of a scent, although I don't know if it's a crowd pleaser just because of the oud itself. Some people don't like oud. I absolutely love it. And I think First Line Shave picked a great scent to represent here. Oud for Greatness is a pretty well respected and definitely well enjoyed niche parfum in the fragrance community. And so seeing it pop up in the wet shaving world was really a treat. First Line did a great job with that one. It comes to us for $23 for 4 ounces, and it is a tallow soap base. Scent notes on the top has saffron, nutmeg, lavender. In the mid, we got oud or agarwood, or agarwood, however you want to pronounce it. And then in the base, we got patchouli and musk. We have our lather already whipped up here, and our Lancaster Razorworks shave bowl, a staple of our daily shaves. And we got our Trotter Handcrafts brush right here, in the blue, black, and smoky gray. Absolutely stunner of a brush with a Trotter T1 badger knot on top, natural hair. The scent on this one is probably a 6 or 7 out of 10. It is absolutely bold and banging. It is a banger of a scent. I love it. I wore the EDT or EDP today, the matching Illustrious Oud EDP. I wore that today to work, and I was alone in a one-man office, so I didn't have to hear my coworkers bitch and moan, because sometimes when I wear oud fragrances, I will get a little bit of bitching and moaning from the basic bitches. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you have some nice colognes in your collection, that I'm pretty sure that you also have encountered the basic bitches at work that will, ooh, what are you wearing? Or, you know what I mean? Like, they'll give you some shit for it because their nose is basic and simplistic, and they might have a signature scent and that's all. And I mean, that's fine. If that's what you want to do with yourself, that's fine. You know what I mean? You wanna pick a nice freshie and just wear that 365 days a year, have at it. I mean, it doesn't affect me at all. Freshies smell good, and everybody enjoys a good freshie. But variety is the spice of life, and oud really brings some spice to the table. So that's just me. So I got to enjoy this one without any bitching, and I really enjoyed that. So we are revisiting the Beast. No, I shouldn't call it the Beast, and ignore the fingerprints. When it's polished, apparently the fingerprints are just going to be a normal part of using this razor in my OCD. It's going to drive me fucking insane. No more polished razors for me. But we're using the Asylum Shave Works Injector razor. Now, this is a very handsome razor. I really like the handle design. Has nice knurling. I like the head design. It's nice and slim. It is a 3-piece. Has nice lather rinsing ports right there. So it has a, decent threaded shank right there. And then the head comes apart in 2 pieces. So you can kind of see like that little rectangular shaft fits into that slot. There is 2 little posts for the blade to sit into, but there is no female counterpart underneath. Let me kind of free my hands here. We're going to be using a second use. Let me get everything in the right side here. So we're going to be using a second use Schick Proline B20 blade. And that just fits right over those posts right there. And then you can slide the top cap over the top and hold that into place. And then just get the handle and slide that right up into place. Get that nice and snug. So a nice 3-piece right there. As far as how functional it is, it works just fine. Gets the job done. Now my first run with this, although the shave itself felt smooth, it was a fucking bloodbath. And so I need to familiarize myself with this razor. I need to figure out its quirks, and I need to master it because it's beautiful and I want to support this modern injector offering. Like I've been calling for them, and then I found one out in the market, and I want to support this. So I need to figure out its quirks. Now I'm thinking, as far as like in comparison to vintage Schicks, even the ones with full metal construction, because I have two with a full metal construction, both of those still feel lighter than this. This is a 316L stainless steel, and it's definitely heavier than the ones with the Bakelite and brass. So it is 99 grams total. Now, I grabbed the supply razor, and I looked on Supply's website just to see if I could find like the weight of the supply razor, but I didn't see it listed anywhere, which I kind of thought was a little bit weird. But when you see Supply's promotion, the razor kind of looks small, and it is. It's not huge, but when you get the Supply injector in hand, it's a little bit bulkier than like vintage Schick injectors. And when you get the Supply in hand, one thing you'll notice right away is its heft compared to those vintage Schick injectors. And this one's kind of the same way. It's like this one just seems to have a little bit more size and a lot more weight. And when I kind of held both razors, one in each hand, I think this one possibly even has more heft than the Supply razor, possibly. But I do not account the weight of the razor for why I had a bloodbath shave the other day, which was, I think, 3 nights ago or 2 nights ago. I can't remember. I gave it a few days so that I could let my skin heal. I did have a few blemishes that this razor just absolutely decapitated. So, a portion of the blood you saw in that shave was just, those blemishes getting sawed in half. But some of it, I think, was definitely weepers as well. Now, I don't believe that whole bloodbath was simply because the weight of the razor. I'm one of the shavers that doesn't believe in letting the weight of the razor do the work, because that only applies realistically when gravity is involved, and maybe going from like a north to south pass, and you're letting gravity do the work, because you're not going to let gravity do the work when you're doing a south to north pass. That would defy the laws of physics, So I think that whole statement is kind of bullshit. I don't believe in let the weight of the razor do the work. But I do believe that if your technique is sound, you can figure out how to get the proper angle that a specific razor requires, which is one thing that I'm trying to really hone in on during this shave, is the proper angle that this razor specifically requires. Trying to disregard, my Schick injectors use this angle, my DEs use that angle. When I use a straight razor, I use this angle. I'm trying to disregard that, and I'm trying to figure out, where does this razor shave that it feels most comfortable? Not my knowledge of razors historically. This razor specifically. Where does this one feel comfortable? Where does this one seem like it's cutting the most efficiently? Where's the sweet spot? You know, how forgiving is that sweet spot? Is it a large sweet spot? Is it a shallow sweet spot? You know, these are the things that I need to familiarize myself with, because this razor might not be, you know, the next best thing in my shaving collection, but somebody put, you know, research and development into this thing, which is something I really enjoyed Tobin say the other day on his channel, and I'll definitely tag Tobin in the description of this video. Please go check him out. But Tobin said, when he was talking about blades and blades that people, you know, try once and then throw away because they had a bad experience with them. Excuse me. But, you know, somebody put a lot of money, research, and development into the creation of that blade. And they wouldn't be on the market still unless people bought them and enjoyed them. So, can't say it's a bad blade, but it's just maybe it's not a good pairing for that razor. Or maybe you yourself have some work to do with your technique. And I think you could pretty much copy and paste those sentiments to when you get a new razor or any facet of the hobby, or really any hobby. You know what I mean? You could copy and paste those sentiments and use them. They're applicable in a lot of different areas of life. So what I'm trying to do here, although I'm going on a rant, is I'm trying to kind of, with these short choppy strokes, kind of trying to feel if the angle feels right, if the blade kind of feels right, and then I'll lock in and take a longer stroke. With this specific razor, I think it will shave at a rather wide angle. And what I mean by that is, you know, a little bit shallower, a little bit more open. I think it will shave, but it's not comfortable at all angles. So the sweet spot is a little bit more narrow. And so for me, doing these kind of short buffing strokes, or at least it looks like I'm buffing, but it's really like I'm testing to feel, does that feel right? And then once it feels right, kind of lock in, and I can make longer strokes. Now, as far as the efficiency of this one, I think it's plenty efficient. Like, it gave me a BBS no problem on my first use, and I'm almost positive I'm going to have a BBS today. The only difference is if I'm lucky, I'm going to get away with no blood today compared to that first run. And I think instead of just shaving the way I usually shave with all of my other injectors, I'm going to give this one the respect it deserves and take the time to learn its specific angle that it requires. And then once I master it, then give my impressions on it. And so that concludes the shaving aspect of this. Let's go ahead and rinse down and see how we did. I am very happy to report I think we got away with a flawless shave. We let the skin heal up from those cuts the other day, and although I don't think my neck was exactly 100% healed. It was, you know, it was close to 100%. And it doesn't look like we reopened any of our old wounds. And just feeling around, that's just so smooth. So I definitely think this one has some efficiency to it. And it has some blade feel, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable when you get that angle right, when you find that sweet spot. And I think what I was feeling on my first use with the razor, when I was saying it feels more aggressive than my other injectors, I think I had the angle off. I think I was shaving at an angle that was maybe a little bit too open, and so the blade was kind of too flat and almost kind of dragging and maybe like chattering across my skin or something. You know what I mean? So I steepened it up, you know, so now it's kind of more slicing. So that's what I tried to subconsciously do throughout this whole shave, was just keep that angle high. Keep it high. And I mean, the head is already kind of designed like that, as are all injectors. They kind of have this natural curvature to them right towards the top of the head. But this one, I made sure to keep it even tighter to the skin. And I got away with a very nice shave. So let's go ahead and get some matching aftershave splash on. Let's see, there are the ingredients. And just a beautiful kind of dark blue bottle with the label that wraps around. Got a nice restrictor on top. Let's go ahead and... oh, hell yeah. Little bit of a tingle on the neck, but nothing too serious. Oh, yeah. And that stuff smells good. I don't know why I went like brain dead right there. Like, it smells. But yeah, that stuff smells good. I'm smelling great. I think I'm also gonna do like one hit of the EDT or EDP. Well, I'll do two. Fuck it, right to the chest. Just enjoy that the rest of the evening. So, thankfully, I had a better run with the Asylum this time around. And I'm just going to keep on experimenting with it. I'm going to try different blades with it and just keep on experimenting with it and just see how I do. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.